Really? There's nothing better than this early in the morning. What's going on, guys? This is Sean with MTC. Welcome back to my channel, and to new viewers out there, as always, welcome. Guys, there's no hiding the fact that I do buy a ton of sneakers. I've shown you guys this before. We've talked about this little issue that I have with sneakers, but with that said, I do sell a lot of sneakers as well, but that also comes with regrets. So in today's video, I'm covering my top 5 sneakers that I regret selling, that I regret letting go from my collection. I thought it'd be a fun video to make to show you guys how I came to pick these sneakers up, why I sold it, and why I regret it. So if that sounds interesting, before we dive into the actual list, guys, if you could scroll down real quick, give me a little quick thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. But with that being said, we're gonna start the list with an honorable mention. So coming in at the honorable mention spot, I'm gonna have to put the Jordan 11 Bred from the year 2019. So when these released, DJ Khaled was doing this really cool thing where he partnered up with all the Snipe store throughout the country, and he was basically giving away a free pair through an in-store raffle from each store. So I went into all my local mall, all my local Snipes, entered myself in, and a few days after, I actually got a call from one of the stores saying that I won a free pair. Now, I was at work and I missed the call initially, which made me super nervous, by the way. But I called him back and I was able to get my free pair secured, went in the next day and got it. Now, just because I got this one for free, it made selling this a little bit more appealing. Which is why I did sell it. Now, I regret it just because I have grown to appreciate that shoe a little more, the colorway, the history behind it. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 11s just because I don't think it goes well with what I wear, with my style. So I was okay with letting it go at the time, but even if I wasn't going to wear them, just to have them like on my shelf back there, just to have it in my collection would have been really cool. So that does come in at the honorable mention spot of shoes that I regret selling. And now we're diving straight into the actual list. So I did rank this list, so it goes from the shoe that I regret the least to the shoe that I regret the most. So coming in at number 5, it's the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 glows. Now this one is the one that comes in that neon green that glows in the dark. So when these released, it dropped at midnight and I was actually getting ready to sleep. I was in bed, I had my phone off to the side, but I got a notification on Twitter saying that they dropped through Easy Supply, and I casually went on, not expecting to hit, just because I knew how Easy Supply can get at the time. So I went on, and shortly after I got through the queue and I was able to secure my pair, and that came like I think the weekend after. And the part that I regret the most with this one is how quickly I sold them. Like, I didn't even really check them out. Like, I got them in and I basically sold them out the box, and I didn't have time to check it out, to appreciate the shoe. And that, looking back at it now, it was a really cool shoe. Now Yeezys are doing so many of the same colorway, so many similar looking shoe. That one was so different and so unique, and similar to the Jordan 11 Breds, it would have been a cool piece to have just in my collection. So the fact that I sold them so quickly and not even giving myself a chance to, I guess, to decide whether I wanted to keep it or not. I think I sold it because that coming weekend I was going on a trip and I wanted the money for that trip. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing, but this one, I wish I gave myself more time. But again, it comes in at number 5, so I could live without it, but it would have been a cool piece to have in my collection for sure. Now coming in at the number 4 spot, it's the Jordan 1 Satin Black Toe. It's the women's pair that released sometime last year, and this one I don't regret selling. I don't regret letting go from my collection, but I just regret the timing of when I sold it. So a little backstory. When these released, I was trying to get my pair through the Snipes reservation app, which is how I was getting a lot of my sneakers back then. But something happened to the app, it crashed, the results it never came out. So it was kind of up in the air on how they were going to do this release. So the day that it released, I went to the mall super early and I actually got in line at Snipes just because I figured like they might do a first come first serve because everything got messed up. So it turns out they did, and I was like the 3rd person in line, so it worked out really well for me and I was able to get a pair. And then at the time when it released, it was going about for $1,000. I think it was a little above, a little below depending on the size you got, but I thought it was going to go past $1,000. I thought it was going to hit around $1,300, $1,500, so I held on to it and I ended up selling it at like $600-700. Like, it started declining like weeks after release, and months after. Like, now it's at like $400 or $500. Of course, it's still a lot of money that I sold for, and I do really appreciate that. Just when I think about like what it could have been if I sold it on the day of the release, like That's the part that I regret the most, but it's okay. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the shoe anyways. Like, I didn't like the way it looked. So selling it wasn't an issue for me, but just the timing of when I sold it, that's the part I regret the most. So jumping into number 3 on the list, it's going to be the Jordan 4 Breads. Now this one I got through the Foot Locker reservation app like anybody else would, but I sold it like right away, and I regret this one big time because one, like the colorway that it comes in. It's a classic black and red. It goes well with a lot of different things. It would have been an easy shoe to wear, and if I'm gonna be honest, like after that Last Dance documentary came out, just the history of these shoes, Michael Jordan himself, I've grown to appreciate a lot more. Let me remind you that I haven't been into sneakers like for long. Like, my knowledge for sneakers like goes back like maybe last year or 2 years ago. So I recently got into it, and like when that documentary came out, I've grown to appreciate these pieces a lot more, knowing the history of it. And if you guys know, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been rocking the Cement 4s heavy as of late. It's been one of my favorite models to wear, the 4s, even over the 1s. I know that's not a popular opinion, but for me personally, I like the 4s a lot more than the 1s. And I've been eyeing a lot of different 4s to add into my collection, but this is one of them, the Bread 4s. I think it would have been such a cool piece to have. Like, I would have been wearing it so much, like if I had it right now. So maybe this is a piece I add into my collection, you know, down the road, but this one comes in at number 3, the Jordan 4 Breads. Now getting down to the bottom of the list, at number 2, it's the Jordan 1 Obsidians. Now this one, every time I think about it, this one hurts, just because when these were rumored to drop and the pictures came out, I was so excited about it because I just love the colorway of this shoe, the North Carolina blue working with that navy blue. It was such a beautiful shoe, such a beautiful colorway, and I would have to say that it's one of my favorite colorways on the Jordan 1s, and I was so excited to rock a pair because I knew it was going to go well with a lot of my outfits, so I was so excited to wear it. And when I had them in hand, I was like contemplating whether or not I wanted to keep it or sell it. You know, the prices at the time were a little bit too good for me to resist, so I ended up selling it, but I regretted it the moment after I sold it, and that's when I knew like this shoe was going to be on like top of my list of the shoes that I regret selling. So this one I definitely do want to add back into my collection, but the prices of this like in the last few months like just jumped up like crazy, so I don't know about it. Like, I don't know how soon I would be able to get this in my collection, but this one, man, it hurts just because I was so excited of the colorway, and it was one of my favorite shoes. So this is my lesson. Like, if I really like the shoe, I should just keep it. You know, I should just keep the shoe and wear it and rock it, and maybe down the road sell it, and not just act so impulsively. That's the lesson I'm learning from this video, from kind of remembering back. But Jordan 1 Obsidian, one of my top shoes that I regret selling. And now we are getting to my top of the list, the top shoe that I regret selling, and it's gonna have to be the Off-White Air Max 90s, the Desert Ore colorway. Now this was probably the first shoe that I got when I first got into sneakers. So I was out at lunch with my dad, and I knew it was dropping at 10 o'clock in the morning through a draw. So I was sitting down, we were ordering food, and I actually just entered into the draw really quickly, and I put the phone off to the side. I was eating, and I was like casually talking with my dad, and I kind of peeked over to the side of the table, and I saw the the screen that we love to see, but we rarely see on the Nike Sneakers app. And if you have it, you know what I mean. So I saw that screen, and I just didn't know how to act because, of course, it was my first shoe, but I knew it was hyped up because it was an off-white piece. So I didn't know how to feel about it, but I got the shoe in, and I absolutely love this shoe. I wore them like a couple times, and if you guys have rocked with this channel long enough, I actually did a review on it a while back. Like, the video in itself is really bad, but it was like a while back I did a review on it. I kind of showed you guys why I like this shoe so much. So I wore a couple times, but then the prices, like, it was like reaching to $500, and it's just like I couldn't justify myself in keeping the shoe at the time, especially because, you know, I wasn't working as much, I wasn't making money. So this was a good way to make a good amount of money so quick. So I ended up selling the shoe. But like I said, like with all of these shoes on this list, it would have been such a cool piece to have in my collection. And that one, I really liked the way it looked. I thought the colorway was clean, the design was clean. It was one of the best off-white shoes in my opinion, and I think just thinking about the outfits that I could have put together with that piece right now. Oh man, like I wish I had that. Now, there's probably no way that I'm going to be adding this into my collection unless I find a really good deal, maybe used or something like that. But this one, I would have to say, is the shoe that I regret the most. And that is going to wrap up the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys did, always let me know by clicking that thumbs up button down below. You guys know how far that goes in getting this video out to more people in an effort to grow this community. And guys, comment down below as well, which shoe do you guys regret selling? It doesn't have to be a hyped up shoe, just any shoe that you regret letting go from your collection. I want to know, and I want to converse with you guys and see if we have any similar shoes on our list. So definitely comment that down below and let's get connected. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, and I know a lot of you guys who are watching right now are not subscribed, so make sure you guys scroll down, click on that subscribe button, and definitely turn on that notification bell, because the progress on that 1,000 subscriber video, the big one that I've been hyping up, guys, it's getting there. So definitely you guys want to be notified when it comes out, so make sure you guys do that. And lastly, if you are not following me over on Instagram at MTCMVMT for outfit pictures, daily vlogs in the story, early pickups, all that good stuff, make sure you guys go over there and follow. And also, Instagram is the platform that I use to announce any updates regarding my YouTube videos. So guys, if you are in the YouTube family but not over on the Instagram family, I recommend you guys join that so you guys can be notified and be alerted on any updates regarding my videos. So make sure you guys do that. And with all that out of the way, if you guys watch this video all the way to the last bit, I love each and every single one of you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.